So welcome back to another Mitch Fits video. Today we've got the first edition SoLow T7 Transit Custom coilover kit. This is a 30 to 65mm drop and it will obviously improve comfort as well. So we're going to get these on, show you exactly how to fit them and how to set them up. Right, first step, wheels. So these are a 21mm nut, so 21mm socket. We'll get the wheels off. So now the wheels off, first step is just get the hoses and the wiring. So I've got an 8mm to do the hose off this bracket here, and then I've got a trim tool. There's some Christmas tree clips holding some plugs to the struts, so just sort of prise them off and then we can release that. Then we'll move to the drop link. Trim tool, we've got these two clips here. So there'll be two on the passenger side and a single one on the driver's side. Just release like that, just a little fir tree clip. So those are free now. There's a little guide that one's unclipping. Just like that, just push it towards the chassis leg. Now we can do the drop link. Now this is an 18mm. So next up is the strut. So we've got the 24mm nut. Pop them off. So these are splined bolts, so you don't need to actually harden them on that when you crack these off, but we now need to tap them out because they don't rotate. So you'll notice on this bolt that the thread sort of starts 10mm up. This is designed to be kind of hit with a hammer or a mallet. There's a few ways you can do it, either just sort of gently tap them, but this will slowly deform this, which is designed to do. We would then file it down just to kind of get the mushroom off so you can get the bolt back, get the nut back on. I've also found if you put the nut back on so far, so it's sort of flush, and then get the socket and you can gently tap it in that way, and that way you're not damaging the bolt as much. But these are sort of sacrificial, so however you want to take them off. As you can see, there's your splines. So I was hitting it with as little force as I could just to prevent it from really deforming. So obviously free it off and then just gently tap it out, and then you won't be deforming this too much. And once we're at this stage, we can just give it a push and pull to the side, and then it'll be onto the top mount. So now we're onto the top mounts. The best thing to do is take this headlight out. Much easier with the headlight out. On the passenger side, you can leave it in and sort of get round the battery. But I just find that it's so much easier to do the top mount with the headlight out. So it's two screws. This is a T30. You've got one here. There's one up here on the wing. Unplug your connector, like so, and then it sort of lifts up like that. I also find sometimes that undoing that will help as well. So up in the strut tower there is three 15mm nuts on the top mount studs. I've got this long extension, or long ratchet, a little bit easier for me to get in there. So I'm just going to crack them off. To start with. You can see why the headlight out would be beneficial. So with them cracked off, I'm moving to an electric ratchet just to speed the process up. So same process on this side. They are right around the back, but this long ratchet really helps me. One thing to mention, I've noticed that I knock this off quite a lot. It's just a bonnet stay or bonnet stop. They just pop off. So pop it off just so you don't break it, and then you can properly reach in there. I get away with it, oh, the doodah days. So we need to reuse our top mount and our bearing cover and our dust cover. So I'm going to take these parts off, so grab your spring compressors and then undo this 18mm. All that will come off and we can transfer it to the new suspension strut.
So you're about to go grab the spring compressors, aren't you, Mitch?
Nothing to see here. So you'll notice that our product comes with a new bump stop, and you've got an old bump stop here. So you'll notice it's shorter. So leave the old bump stop on your old shock, take the dust cover and the bearing assembly, and then the top mount, and then we'll assemble it, tighten up the nut. There was a nylock nut just here, that was on here. We are planning to reuse the original nut. I don't particularly like the idea of these. So the idea behind this is a transit nut. So just when the product's in shipping, when it's been boxed, it's just to stop the thread being damaged. So we always use the original nut. So I've paired up the threaded adjuster on both struts. Now because these are still relatively new, I'm going to put it on how it is set up now, and then we might need to fine tune the ride height once the vehicle's fully sat down. I just don't know at the moment, so like I say, we're just going to give it a go and make some adjustments after. Would this have been easier to do it before I fitted the springs? Yes, absolutely. Did I forget? Yes.
So how much are you cutting it by?
So I'm shortening this down to 190mm, which I'll tell you how many that is in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've shortened it by 8 of these convoluted steps. So I've just nipped up the top mount bolts now. I'm going to go and tighten them fully when the vehicle's on the floor, but we're now at the point that we can come back up and start doing the hub to the strut assembly. One thing to mention, the new generation Transits and the T7 Transporter, the struts are now sided, whereas on the old generation you could do whichever strut on whichever side. But the brackets are there all now sided, so make sure you get the right strut. So I always try to leave whichever strut is on the driver's side, I leave it on the driver's side, and then I'll bring everything to it, so I know that I've not mixed them up. So the way of telling if you've got the correct side, the anti-roll bar faces the back of the vehicle. So like so. So the anti-roll bar bracket just here, that faces the back of the vehicle on both sides, so you know you got it correct. So if you end up trying to fit this strut here in this orientation with the roll bar facing forwards, you know you got the wrong side on. So same again as the other side, reuse the original nut from the original strut. So once you get the vehicle back up in the air, you're going to put the pinch bolts back in. Now, as I mentioned, these are splined, so you need to position them back in the same place that they've come out. Obviously, it's just a case of twisting until it sort of stops, and then you want to tap them in gently. So I found that tapping them and then using a long ratchet, again, just to start cranking them up, because of the way that they go in, it's very easy to strip the thread if you just keep going in them. So it's always a good idea to sort of give it a gentle tap with a hammer or a mallet, as well as cranking it with a ratchet, and then slowly tighten them up that way. As you can see, it is slowly working its way in, and it's not too tight yet, so it will start to get a bit stiffer. But yeah, I just don't want to over tighten anything and strip any threads. So with the strut back in and torqued, next up is the drop link, 18mm nut. You may need to reposition your anti-roll bar. I've had to pull mine up a little bit. Obviously both sides are disconnected, so it was easy to pull it back up. So I'll just nip this back up. So next we're going to clip in all the wiring. So I've got these Christmas tree clips. They just push onto the strut and just push in place like so. Same again on this side. There we go. And now we'll do the brake hose, which is just the 8mm bolt. So repeat on the other side and then move to the rear. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
To rumble. Okay, so onto the rear now. I've grabbed a transmission jack, just sort of doing a bit higher up, so we need to support the lower arm. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the weight on the lower arm, undo the rear shock bolts. So start with the bottom one, then the top one, and then we'll lower the transmission jack down, take the spring out, and then I'll show you the next steps. It's just got the weight. So I'm grabbing an 18mm. Okay, so now we'll take the weight off the transmission jack. Just wiggle the spring out. Nice and easy. So I've grabbed a 13mm. I think it's a 13mm. It's a 13mm. So I'll need to undo this bump stop here. So there's a bolt in the middle of it, so grab a 13mm. So you'll notice on your bump stop you've got these spacers. They seem to be different depending on the spec of the van. So I know that we're going to lower this van about 30mm because I want to set this a little bit higher up knowing that it's going to get loaded up in the back. So looking at these spacers, I've got one that is about 37mm and then the others are approximately 8mm. So I'm going to remove the single largest one. So we'll retain those two and then we'll bolt it back in. So to do this, there's little slots all the way around here, and these just sort of pop off like that. And then I'm going to do the same over here. Hopefully there's a slot on this one. Sure is not. Like so. So now I'm going to clip the little ones back on. You'll notice just sort of like this. Mallet, clips them back on. We'll grab our bolt. Okay, so I need a shorter bolt now. So I've had to grab a bolt from our stores because the original bolt has got a shoulder on it. Now because I took the larger spacer out, it meant that there was no threads left, so this would tighten up into the chassis. Ideally it would want to have been shortened anyway, but that would have been fine to go back in, even with the extra thread. But because of the shoulder, it wouldn't go fully tight. So I've grabbed a bolt from our stores that was long enough, and I've just bolted our bumps up back in place. Moving on to the suspension, so we're going to pop off this rubber isolator, so we don't need that anymore, and we're going to grab our adjuster. Now you notice this is quite a large adjuster. This sits on the bottom, just like so. Again, you can play about with the height. You've got the adjustable threads, so we're going to set it to there. Let's have a look at what measurement that is. Right, 11mm. So I'll pair up my adjusters and then I'll get it in the van, and like I said earlier, we're going to have to fine tune this on the floor. Next up we grab our spring. You'll notice that you've got different size coils. So the larger flat coil was at the bottom, and then the smaller one will locate into the original rubber isolator. Now I'm going to spin this round so the end of the coil lines up with where the end of the coil was on the factory spring. Like so. Next up we get our damper. Starts at the top, locate it in place. So I'm just going to buy hand tight for now. Just drop that in so many threads. Grab the bottom one. So we just need to pump it a tiny bit more. And so again, just drop that in a couple of threads. So again, this is an 18mm. So one thing to mention, on the instructions, they're very confusing on the whole bump stop configuration. So I spoke to our H&R guy. He's told me to do it the way that we've done it with the spacers, but because this product is TUV, they've had to do it like this. So it's sort of depending on you really. As long as you've got your bump stop in and you've shortened it, then we're all right. But they're saying on here to take 17mm worth of adjustment out, but we're dropping 65mm. So I've gone with the way that I've done it. So we are now done, other than wheels on. So we've got this lovely new SoLow suspension. It'd be rude not to pair it with some lovely Navis Taurus alloys. So these are going to go on now. So with the top mounts now done up with the vehicle on the floor, we can put the headlights back in and then torque the wheels. So that's how you fit the T7 suspension. As you can see, pretty straightforward job. A few things to keep in mind. And we're going to have a bit of a play, get some weight at the back of this, and let it settle and do some adjustments to get it perfectly level and the right ride height for our customer. Thanks for watching. There's plenty more T7 Transit Custom content coming soon. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons, the little bell thing, and we'll catch you in the next one.